Everyone. We are glad to have you here. Just give a second to let folks get logged in. Before we start, though, I just have a few housekeeping things. We are recording this presentation, which also means that in order to make sure sound is good for everyone watching the recording, we will probably be muting anyone who's not on mute, not because we don't want to hear you speak. We would love, we'd love for this to be interactive, but just so that we can cut down on background noise if possible. If you do have questions though throughout the presentation, please feel free to put them into the chat or raise your hand. And we are also going to try to save some time at the end for some Q&A. So I'm Tylin. I am M&A's membership manager. I'm here with Shelby Rogala, our Professional and Organizational Development Director, Barb Knudsen, she's our Office Manager, and most likely the person who will help you with what you need. If you give M&A a call or shoot us an email, it will probably be Barb, who she's the keeper of all the knowledge. So she will probably be the one you interact with. And then we have Liz Moore, our Executive Director here. And Liz, I wanted to invite you to just give a little welcome and say a few things if you'd like.
Sure. Thanks for joining us. So we have Susan, Laura, and Lisa. And I wonder if you would be able to just do an introduction of yourselves and which organization you're with. Thanks, Tylin. So you can see on the screen, Susan, I see you stepping forward.
There we go. So I'm the Executive Director at Finding Freedom. We're a relatively new nonprofit. We specialise in personal development and emotional support. We've actually been in the Bozeman area for some time, but we've only just been formed as a non-profit. And we provide in-person support and online support, so that stretches beyond the Bozeman area. And we run small groups, and so it's personal development, therapeutic support is what we do.
Wonderful. And what motivated you to join M&A, or what are you hoping to gain or experience from us as your association?
Well, I'm hoping to find that out during this call. But because we're new, we're still trying to find our feet. We want to become a very active part of the nonprofit community around the area. And so meeting people and plugging in, discovering what resources are available, building relationships, seeing how we can partner with other nonprofits, that's all really important to us. So this is our first step in doing that.
Okay, really nice to meet you, Susan.
Thanks.
Laura, I see you've taken yourself off mute. Laura, do you want to speak? We can't hear you. How about Lisa?
Yes, so my name is Lisa Friedrich. I'm the Executive Director for Sanders County Community Housing Organization. I've been with this group for 1 year. I'm new to the nonprofit sector. So I've been spending this year trying to figure out the ins and outs. Our office is located in Thompson Falls, but we serve the whole county of Sanders with low to moderate income housing. We have 10 apartments in Plains, and we just received some donated land, so we're looking to build in the Knoxon area, hopefully follow the same type of housing that we currently have. The reason I joined MNA is because, like I said, I'm new to the nonprofit. So any sort of guidance, mentoring, assistance, resources is greatly appreciated. And so far, we were a member last year. I signed us up, and so far I've received more than the fee was. So wonderful. I'm hoping to continue this relationship. Thank you.
Thanks so much, Lisa. Laura, are you able to speak?
Can you hear me now?
Yes, thank you.
Okay. I'm with NeighborWorks Great Falls, and we have been members for a while, and I wasn't quite sure what this was all about, so I wanted to get on it, but I personally have not been involved directly with M&A, so I thought I'd listen to this session today and see if I need to be more directly involved. But I'm the Homeownership Center Director with NeighborWorks Great Falls, and we work with affordable housing and education.
Wonderful. Well, thank you, Laura. So I think that others on the call will speak more to the benefits of M&A, but I think, Lisa, your experience is part of our goal, and that's that, you know, anything that you do as far as membership goes, that you end up recouping, you know, the dollars and cents. That's very transactional, and certainly we want more of a relationship with you than just the transaction. We're very focused on nonprofits having the nonprofit leadership having the resources you need in order to carry out your mission, and that you have access to the relationships both within and outside of the nonprofit community that help you move forward, and also that you are part of the voice of the nonprofit sector. So as we work with policymakers and the public about the value of the nonprofit community and what we offer and our contribution in communities, that your voice is part of that message. And some of our priorities right now are, and I know that our team will talk about what we have to offer. Our priorities right now are how to continue having a sense of community in a virtual world. So whether we're learning together or doing a conference, or we're on policy calls or anything like that, whatever we're doing together, we're not only doing the thing, whatever the content is, but we're also in community together. And so that's part of a priority for us. We're very, Montana Nonprofit Association is doing a lot of work internally on what is our role in leadership in equity and inclusion and diversity in the nonprofit community in Montana. We think we do have a role, and we are building toward a strategic plan for ourselves in that area of DEI in particular. And so, you know, that will be part of what you experience, hopefully, as you work with us. And then our goal is for nonprofits to have access to resources regardless of whether you're in a rural community, whether you're in a tribal community, regardless of, you know, where you are on the spectrum of being seasoned or experienced as a nonprofit leader. And so, you know, that access to resources is a really big deal to us. And our policy work is something that is kind of like we can spend a lot of time and do spend a lot of time on how to excel in your operations and your mission and all of that, or how to carry that out. But the way we change the system to make the operating environment the best for nonprofits in the state and nationally is through our policy work. So I spend a good bit of time on that. I also spend quite a bit of time on board governance and helping support that area of our learning. I'm the vice chair of the National Council of Nonprofits Board of Directors, and I'm the chair of their Public Policy Council Committee. So I'm really tuned into that. We're all dealing with how to move back from, you know, we went from a non-remote world to a remote world, and now it's, you know, probably permanently very dotted lines between a virtual workspace and a in-person workspace. And so we're all navigating that, and our team is pretty remarkable. And so welcome to learning more about M&A, and I will hand it back to you, Tylynn. Susan and Lisa and Laura, it was very nice to meet you. I'm going to step off, Tylynn, but welcome, and just know that we're available to you as your association.
Thank you, Liz.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to go back and let you all know, the whole team is always here if you have questions. You know, I am in the role of membership. Barb, like I said, is our keeper of all the knowledge and things, but you can reach out to any of us at any time with any questions, you know, and we will find out for you. We don't always know the right answer right away, but we are happy to find them, and always happy to connect and engage. And like Liz said, you know, the aspect of community is very, very important to us. You know, we're here to serve you and help you, you know, fulfill your mission. And we're also here to connect with you and support you and get to know you and the work you're doing. And I did want to say this is our first member benefit review ever. So I appreciate that you three are here with us. You are sort of our test cohort or inaugural crew. You know, I'll come up with a great name for the three of you later. But I do appreciate you being here with us. And, you know, especially as there may or may not be kinks to this presentation. I just finished it at 11:30 today. So bear with me if anything weird happens. But Liz gave a great overview of M&A, and I just wanted to touch on a few other things. There are about 7,600 nonprofits in Montana. This number is pulled from the IRS master list, and of those, there's about 2,500 wage-paying nonprofits. So, you know, there's that includes some of our largest hospitals, you know, are some of the biggest nonprofits in the state, and then there are, you know, a plethora of all volunteer-run nonprofits, and we know that the needs of organizations vary widely, right? And so we're always working to figure out how we can best serve all of you. And so we welcome your feedback, especially, you know, things you'd love to be a benefit, things you know you're seeing gaps in service, anything you need. Please know we welcome that feedback and we rely on it to make sure that we are meeting the needs of our members. Right now, M&A has about 715 members. You know, kind of it hovers around between, you know, 600 and 700, kind of depending on the time. But we've got a good representation of nonprofits from across the state in all communities and all sizes, which is great. And then this is our very quick overview of benefits. They range from our training opportunities to technical assistance, discounted products, policy and advocacy, like Liz said, and we will be getting more into these. So Shelby, I don't know if you want to take over the learning opportunities.
Yeah, thanks, Tylen, and thank you all for being here. So, you know, as Liz and Tylen alluded to, one of our member benefits and the ways we try to make sure that nonprofits have what they need is through that access to resources. And our approach is really both the right information for anyone working in a nonprofit, whether that's a volunteer, a new nonprofit staff person, a seasoned executive, or the board. And so we want to scale our resources to match the position as well as the way in which you prefer to engage. So we try to build all of our resources and learning opportunities from what we know works in terms of learning and change management and behavioral change in your organization in ways that are easy for you to access. So whether that is for you a webinar, whether that is a toolkit you can download so you can get back to doing the great work you're doing, whether it's picking up the phone and calling us and asking about any of the areas that you're running into fun challenges with. We try to make sure that we can scaffold both for the person you are, the position you hold, and also the way in which it's easiest for you to get information. So I'll walk through this long list of ways you can do that, ways to reach out to us and where you can find that information. And if you have any questions throughout, let me know. But we'll start on the next slide with the principles and practices of nonprofit excellence. So if you ever see the acronym PP&E, or we're saying the PP&E, that's what that stands for. And about, I would say over the last 10 to 20 years nationally, a lot of state associations, as well as Montana Nonprofit Association, have been involved in really honing and identifying what are those, for us, I think it's 11 areas of nonprofit management that nonprofit staffs and organizations and boards need to know in order to really run a great organization. And so I like to think of these as the things that support your ability to support your mission. They're not really mission specific, right? They're more like, what is the board's role? What is our concerns with HR, whether we're looking at volunteers or at staff members? How can we use technology to support our work? And so as members, you have access to these online to order. There's also digital copies, and there are 2 versions. So the blue one is a self-assessment that you can walk through with your board or your staff, answer some questions, fill in the dots, and that'll kind of help you have an idea of what are the growth areas for your organization. And it's broken into legal practices, which are of course essential practices, which we recommend, and then kind of those best practices that the excellent nonprofits we work with utilize. And then this green copy is really digging into all of those. So it seems like a lot, but it's really a great resource that helps break down nonprofit management into kind of a roadmap for you wherever your organization might be. And then I will say the last thing about this is that those areas identified in the PP&E are kind of the basis for how we approach our curriculum and our resource development. So you'll see common themes and buckets of how we try to group information so that you can know how it applies to your organization, and also what staff person in your organization or board member is going to be most tuned into each area. And those include accountability, transparency, and disclosure, communications, fund development, governance and leadership, human resources, IT, like I mentioned. And they're really the backbone or foundation for a lot of the training and education and resources that we offer. So they're great to know. And I know many a nonprofit board chair and ED has a well-worn copy of these in their office or in their home office, as the case may be. So how then, besides just, looking through these books, can you get some of those tips and tools to help make your work, whether it's volunteer work or paid work, a little bit easier? And going back to that idea of we try to offer a variety of ways to engage to meet your schedule, your needs, the way that you prefer to gather information. I think the first is our winter, spring, summer webinar and workshop series. In the past, this looks like traveling around to different places in Montana. And in the future, we hope it looks like that again. This year, it really is some webinars and online workshops that we've been hosting. And you can see these and an updated list of them on our website. I'm just going to chat that in. And so those will kind of be the up-to-date offerings that we have going out. And you can see they're kind of starting to fit into some of those categories mentioned. We also offer standalone webinars that might feature a specific event or a specific topic. Those are maybe less of a commitment than a full, 4-week series of a couple hours each week. The other thing we often do, and whether you're an affiliate member who maybe has resources to offer nonprofits, or you're a nonprofit that wants to learn about relevant information or kind of timely things, we have a town hall series, and that started as a result of COVID, and we've continued it because it's a great way to have a standing time where we can deliver information, and those are all free. So you can hop on. There's a link from the page that I just chatted in, and you can see what's coming up, and that might be something like COVID grant guidelines that are coming down from the federal or state levels, or it might be something about workers' comp from one of our affiliate partners. So nice to just kind of keep an eye out for those, and it might be a topic that's timely and relevant for you. And then finally, in addition to, so we have our standalone webinars, our free town halls, we have some paid webinars and workshops geared towards real skill development. And then finally, we have a platform called Thinkific that Tylen will talk about a little bit more. And that's where we load some of our curriculums that you can access at any time. So right now we have one on advocacy and policy, as well as one on collaboration. And it's a series of recorded workshops with some resources, some slide decks, some questions, so that you can hop in there and learn at your own pace as you need. So a lot of different opportunities to get, find the information. And that's kind of our spring, summer calendar, and some fall. Our next kind of great way to dive into content is our annual conference. Again, in the past, that takes place and rotates each year between typically Missoula, Billings, and Helena. Last year it was virtual. This upcoming year it will be virtual once more. But that is a time where we spotlight a lot of different affiliates and consultants and nonprofit experts in the state of Montana, as well as bring in national speakers. And it's a great event for not just content, but also a little bit of inspiration and filling your cup, right? Hearing from some of the excellent speakers we're able to bring in. And finally, a great way to connect and network with other nonprofits across the state and sector, which can be a fun and inspiring event. And a virtual conference might not sound exciting, but I'll say that last year we had a great time and we're able to at least start to create some sense of community. And we hope to be able to do that again in the virtual format as well. So something to put on your calendar. One other way that we have to work with folks, we've been launching affinity groups, and these are really looking at specific places where people are in their careers or in what career or position they work in. So we have two that we've been running for about almost 2 years now. Executive directors and new executive directors. And then they're just a monthly call. They're free and open to members. You can hop on. We have probably a core group of about 6 in each that show up pretty regularly, and then another 6 to 10 that come in and come out as they're able to. And really, these are spaces for you as members to ask for topics and feedback and advice and content you might want us to talk about, but also to connect with each other and share some of those unique hurdles to the position of executive director or being a new executive director. And then we'll be launching, as a part of our fundraising symposium taking place in about a month, April 19th through the 23rd, one for development staff. So we all know the unique challenges development staff face. And again, this will just be another space for development staff to connect with each other, to talk about topics relevant to them, and to help build some of those connections that make working in the nonprofit sector a little bit more enjoyable. And you can sign up for those on that learning page as well. And then I think finally, we have these advanced training opportunities. And so one of the things we offer is consulting services. And we do that in several areas, in financial management, in board governance and leadership, as well as in planning, and often in other kind of niche issues as the case may arise. And we're always happy to either book that on an hourly rate if you just want to have a couple of conversations or have a project in mind, or to think about it more as a training opportunity that can help bring your staff or your board or both together to talk about a topic. And we love to see if we can, meet your needs and give you guys what you need. And if we can't, we love to refer out to a lot of our other affiliates and consultants that we know do great work across the state. We also have a Catalyst program, which is leadership development for nonprofit professionals. We did just select our 2021 cohort. And so this program is really designed for executive directors or very close to becoming executive directors that are interested in broadening their leadership skills and connecting again with a cohort of their peers. You can hear, right, we're as much about resources and content as we are about building strong relationships in the state and in the sector. And then finally, our innovation lab is really a complement or partner of the POD program. Adam Jesperson is our innovation director. And while we're offering resources and tools and curriculum across the broad, spectrum of nonprofit needs, our innovation lab really takes deep dives into specific topics. And over the last year and a half, that's been financial management and leadership. So you've probably seen some of our courses and tools come up. And those are really a result of that innovation work to say, how can we, again, make your jobs easier so that you have more time to focus on the mission. So if you're like, I have no time for classes or affinity groups or any of that, just give me some resources. Our resource library has a lot of great tips and tools, and you'll see they're organized by those nonprofit management areas. So if you need something in governance leadership, we have a lot of sample forms and policies, other resources, and usually that's a great first step to seeing what you need. If that's not enough, we also have some more tools for nonprofits, and I'll say that we're working on integrating these into that resource library so that you're able to kind of go to one spot and find what you need, download it, work on it on your own, and get the answers that you want. But that isn't to say we're not always here. As Tylen stressed earlier, we are always here for questions, and having a conversation with a member is, what we structure our days around. So you can call, you can email, you can fill out the form on our website. If you're not finding what you need, if the trainings, you're like, I'm not sure if this is for me, or if you just have a question that you're struggling finding the answer to, we love finding those. We consider ourselves advanced Googlers of nonprofit needs. So even if it's a question where you're like, I think I could probably find the answer, but I don't know where to start, we probably know where to start. And if we need to pass you along to somebody else, we will, but feel free at any time to pick up the phone and call or send us an email. And our goal is always to have a response within 24 hours. So we really try to be timely with that. And as MNA members, you're on our priority list, I guess. So we'll always bump your call to the top of the list. And I'll let you hold us accountable. You're like, it's been 25 hours, Shelby, I need my answer. You send me an email and we'll make a note of it. But again, big picture is a lot of ways to get these resources, and we want to make sure that you can access it in the way that works best for you. I'll also say on our training, M&A members always get 50% off. So automatically in our price structure, you pay half what non-members do. So it's a great just built-in member benefit that we want to make sure you have access to our training. As members, you also have really easy access to scholarships. Particularly this year, we've realized that funds can be tight, needs are high, and so we have a really generous and easy scholarship application for all MNA members.
Thank you, Shelby. That was great. And I think the education offerings at MNA are definitely one of the biggest membership draws. And so we're always happy to, if you see something, I don't know how to do X, I haven't seen you do a training on this. Again, please let us know, and we can, see if we can offer certain trainings, or like Shelby said, refer out to partners who can. Moving on to some of the other M&A member benefits, I am going to go through some of these a little quickly, and then I will show you how to find more information on the website, just because I want to be thoughtful of our time. But one of our main benefits is the M&A job board. This is the only nonprofit specific job board in the state. We're very proud to host this, and we average, I pulled this job views chart over the last year. There was over 161,000 job views just on the M&A job board in the last year, which, based on my little math with this chart is, it's about 12,000 views a month, which is pretty great. As you can see, some months are much higher than others. And I think that just has to do with some, folks are hiring at certain times. And then there's of course slow times, I think, in the summer when everyone's like, no, I'm out on the river, I don't have time to hire anyone. But M&A member posts start at $49 for 45 days. And All job listings are emailed to, we have a pretty active subscriber list. It's like over 2,000 job subscribers, and then it gets put on our website and our social media. And so it gets out there, leading to these 12,000 job views a month. Non-member rates, are quite a bit higher. And so for most folks joining Mna, you would save most of your membership right here with a job post. And this job board is meant to work both ways for employers and job seekers. So there's a portal where job seekers can upload their resume, and you as an employer could view resumes if you want. And it's just meant to be a great way to get folks connected to professional opportunities in the nonprofit sector in Montana. It's a really great resource, and I'll show you a little bit more at the end how to access it from our website. And then we also have a member benefit of it's our partner directory. All of our affiliate partners, which are businesses or consultants or anyone who works in service to nonprofits, we have this directory. Currently, it is called the Business to Business Directory. It is undergoing a little bit of a makeover, but it's on our website, and you can take a look. You can search by category, whether that's, you want an accountant. You can filter and you can see the accountants in our directory, or you can see the grant writers in our directory, or, you're looking for strategic planning. We have probably half a dozen consultants who specialize in it. And so this is a really great resource for members to know that, okay, this person has invested in Montana nonprofits. They're a part of Mna, which means they are here to serve you. We consider them our partners. They help us do this work. We work with lots of them. They presented at our conference. And this is just a really great resource when you're looking for assistance. We've got lots of, from everything from graphic design through to accounting, which is great. As a member, you also get signed up for our newsletters, which I know it doesn't always sound like the most exciting benefit, but our communications director, Leandra, does a great job getting information out right away. Generally, if we're getting a big policy alert from the National Council, she gets it out the same day. And, it's our goal to make sure our members are always in the know about everything from, association news, what's happening at Mna, we're hiring, or educational opportunities we're offering, the financial leadership course, or our partners are offering a grant writing course, all the way through to policy alerts and just updates, changes, and things like, the Paycheck Protection Program. So that's something that you'll always get up-to-date information in your email. And we also have a number of Mna publications. Every 2 years, we work with Columbia Books, I think. I can't remember our partner, which is not great. I'll have to write that down next time, but who hosts a wage and benefits survey. And so they do it state by state. And so you have access to state-specific wage and benefits survey data. Everything from some of our largest organizations down to really small startups. More than about 100 members take it each year. 100 is the minimum benchmark we need to get the data. But it's really great. You can filter by staff position, by organization size. You can even look sort of regionally, what is Missoula paying versus what is Bozeman paying versus Billings. If you participate in the survey, you get a free copy of the report. If you don't participate, you get 50% off the report for both the state, and you have the option to buy the national report, which is great. We know a lot of boards use this when they're looking at executive compensation. This way they know that they're setting, salaries competitively and making sure that they stay within the lines of the IRS requirements, to know that it's a reasonable salary. And you can always contact us and we can give you directions of how to purchase it on an off year. And we just did this in, 2020. So I guess next year we'll open it up for 2022. But there's also a COVID addendum that they just put out, I think. So, we know that 2020 likely changed salaries. And so they put out a little bit on that, which is great. We also create an economic impact report every 2 years. This was just published. I think you all likely got the email this morning for us announcing it, which this is just a great look at how nonprofits are drivers of the economy. You know, we employ 11% of the state's workforce. We generated $10.5 billion in income in 2019. And this report breaks it down by county. You can see, how much nonprofits are contributing to your county revenue and what the average salaries are by, major counties. I don't think it lists all of them, but this is a really great report. We give it to legislators every year, just as a reminder that nonprofits are an important part of the economy, and we need to be included in relief packages and make sure that there's programs available to support the work that we do as partners of the government. And this is a free report. We make sure members have access to it first. And if you need a hard copy, I think we do have some this year. We're doing mostly digital, but because you three are on the call, I will mail you a copy myself if you would like one. And then we have a whole host of discounted products and services for members. I know, like Lisa, I think you said that you were able to gain your membership costs back last year. And like Liz said, this is one of our goals. We want to make sure membership is affordable to you and that you do make it back, and then you get all of the additional benefits of community and networking and things like that. On our website, I'll show this at the end, but we have all of our products and services broken into categories. And so we have administration and technology, which, just to go over very quickly, we have a free cybersecurity assessment from Anderson Zermalian. We have a partnership with FireSpring, where if you need a new website, they offer 10% off for Mna members. And they also FireSpring offers a lot more than we currently have listed on our website, so we need to get this updated. But they do discounts on printing. If you live somewhere where you don't have a local print shop, FireSpring is a great option. And then they have lots of fundraising resources and marketing resources as well. We have a partnership with Coeus Global, who offers discounted background checks. Everything from volunteer background checks to pre-employment screenings. And then we have a partnership with Zoom, where members can receive 20% off of their annual Zoom subscription, which, has never been more relevant than the last year or so. And then we also have a fundraising category where if Mna members get 10% off of their first year of database services with Bloomerang. And then we partner with Grant Hub, which is actually a Montana company. This is to take place of spreadsheets and written notes, trying to keep track of all of your grant deadlines and reporting deadlines. Grant Hub is a one-stop shop for that, as well as Grant Station, which is a searchable database that has more than 7,500 active funding sources. So you can filter by region and then what your mission area is, and potentially find new funding sources. And it's only $75 a year for Mna members, which is a huge discount compared to their regular price tag is $6.99. So, you're saving a lot of money going through Mna. We also have a number of insurance products that, they help our members. And so we are glad to have them. Our newest discount program is a partnership with Montana State Fund. This is a new group program that it's just, I'll be honest, I don't really know how insurance works, but it's just it's specifically for Mna members, Mna nonprofit members. And the way it works is that you have the potential of receiving a second dividend if the whole group does well, in terms of safety. There's no risk to joining, which is great. Your individual dividend is completely separate from the group. So if you do well, you get that individual one. And then if the whole group does well, you'll get a second dividend. If the whole group doesn't do well, you won't get that second dividend, but it won't touch your first one. So if you're interested in learning more about this program, I definitely encourage you to check it out. It's just launched in February. Well, I guess actually probably at the beginning of March. And then it is like a year off. So you wouldn't receive the dividend until at least 2022. So it's a little bit of a lag, but it's a great program. You also have access to specific safety resources, which is great. We also have a partnership with Payne West for just general liability insurance for nonprofits. It ranges from property insurance and automobile insurance to specific insurance if you work with children as part of your mission. Most nonprofits are required to carry specific policies, and M&A members get a discount on that. And then we also work with a company called First Nonprofit, and they are a provider of unemployment alternative, insurance alternative. They say that on average you can save between 40 and 60% on unemployment costs. I'd say it's worth checking out to get a quote from them compared to traditional unemployment. And they also have a partnership with a company called Think HR, which is just an additional benefit. If you receive this unemployment alternative, you also have this cool HR resource where you can build your employee manual, and you have access to policy templates and things like that. And then we also partner with Berkeley Select and Payne West to offer what's traditionally called directors and officers insurance. Their official name is Nonprofit Executive Liability Insurance, but it's directors and officers insurance, which we encourage all nonprofits to have, better safe than sorry. And then this program has specific discounts and enhancements for M&A members. So it's also worth checking out. And so those are our main programs that we offer discounts on and services. But that's also one area where we would love to hear from you. If there's a certain area of your work or, relating to technology or anything, software, that would really benefit you, let us know. I just had someone actually email me today and say that they would love to have a discount on Adobe software, the design software, if we could get a group partnership going for nonprofits. And, I had never considered that before, and I'm going to check it out now because I think that would be a great discount. So if you have any ideas, please feel free to email me, and we'll certainly look into them for you. I'm just going to take a break. I haven't spoken this much at once. I feel like since I work from home, I just talk to my cat and dog all day. Don't use the voice very much, but Liz, I know, touched on advocacy and policy a little bit, and she is the driver of this at M&A. She has been running her socks off since the session started in January, and even last year with the COVID task force for Governor Bullock. She was pretty heavily involved in that. But this is one area where I think it's not always visible. The benefit isn't always visible, especially on off years. If it's not a legislative year where you're not getting weekly updates on what's happening, it's easy to forget that this is a large part of the work M&A does. But we are deeply involved in making sure that state and federal, when we can, policies are good for nonprofits. And that involves making sure M&A members can have a voice on policy issues and helping you get involved and know how to contact your legislator, to educating our legislators on what the nonprofit sector does. So like I said, this year we hand delivered them all the economic impact reports, and we created, we had a little sticker with the Montana, the preamble to the Montana Constitution, as well as that graphic you saw earlier about how many nonprofits are in Montana. We wanted to remind them all that no matter where they're from, whether they're from the smallest community up on the High Line, there are still 1,000 nonprofits in central Montana, and that we work in every mission and every region, and we're here, and we just want to make sure that they know that nonprofits work best when we're partners of government and the business sector. And lately we've been doing a lot of testifying for or against bills that would help or harm the nonprofit sector, and so that keeps us busy. And we appreciate when when nonprofits alert us to bills, because it is very, very hard to keep track of them, especially this year with everything being in the new digital format. So we appreciate when people reach out about things that we should be watching. This is on our website. If you click on policy, we've got this legislative monitoring thing, so you can see we track these bills and we can say monitoring, tabled, we support, we're against. And this is like a great way just to see bills that at the large level affect nonprofits. We try not to go too far into subsector issues, just because, that would be impossible if we had to monitor every bill related to housing and childcare and, the environment and plastics and things like that. So we try to focus on bills that impact the sector as a whole. And there are still plenty of those bills, even when we're just focusing on that large picture. We also send out public policy alerts. So this one was an action alert we sent out earlier this year, where if we need you to weigh in, we need you to contact your legislators, because a bill will directly impact every single nonprofit in Montana. We lay out how you can contact your legislator, what to say, why we're supporting or opposing. And this is a great way just to be kept in the loop about those big picture things that are happening. And Shelby mentioned this earlier, but we do have a lobbying and advocacy course. It's one of those on-demand courses, so you could access it at any time. But this, Liz is really great about. She goes through and, what is lobbying, what is advocacy? We know that sometimes those words are a little scary to nonprofits because, you can't be partisan and you can't do too much. And so she makes it very clear what nonprofits are allowed and encouraged to do. And then I'm going to navigate off onto the website. I will walk you through our website and how to find things, but I just wanted to say we do have a new member portal on our website. It's new this year. We transitioned databases last fall. And so this is what it looks like if you are logged in. You have the ability to update your account info. Say you get a new executive director and you want to update their name, you can do so here. You can renew your membership online. You can register for training events. You can buy those PP&E, the hard copy books if you want. So we do have that. So let me pull up our website here. Okay, Shelby, can you see the M&A website? Okay, so this is what our website looks like in general. We've got, this is our homepage, and all of our stuff is laid out here. We're hoping that it's easy to understand where you can find things. Learning, this is the tab that you will find most of our webinars and affinity group information on. Resources, this is where you'll find the resource library that Shelby mentioned that is broken into categories. You can click the plus sign and you can find a sample, sample plans, sample leave request forms, things like that. The resources is also where our business to business directory is. So if you are ever, you can always email us and ask for who do you refer out for strategic planning. But if it's 10:30 at night and you just realized you need a strategic plan consultant tomorrow, you can go here. You can just search by category. So you need a grant writer, and it will pull up everyone that's currently in our database for grant writing. And then you can also, this is where you find the member discounts. You can click on them and click anything, and it will give you links to more information. So there's, especially the insurance, I know some of those are a little confusing, so you can just always click more information and get into the main page. Job board, this is where you'll access it. You can click post a job board and then, or post a job, and it will take you to this website, employers, you just go down to post a job, you can create a login and have access to everything there. Oh no, how do I get out from my little Zoom thing is.
It's the worst when that happens.
I know. I don't know how to. Oh, there we go. Okay, I'm back. And then this is where you are going to go to log in. Just right here on the top. I will admit it's a little bit of a process because of our new system. So I will just say, if you don't know your login, you are more than welcome to just contact me or Barb. It is tied to the primary contact email initially, and then it's just a shared organizational login. So you can just reset by clicking this having trouble logging in. And if you enter the primary email, it will allow you to create one, or you can email me and I can set up a login on my side and just give you a dummy password so that you can access it and you can change your password. But this is what it looks like from the inside. And it's just, this is where it's helpful to do things like register for trainings when you're logged in. Oh, of course it does this on a webinar. Let's see if this one works. But the benefit of being logged in is if you register for trainings, you don't have to enter all of your account information. The way if you weren't logged in, you'd have to tell us all of the information about you. But if you're logged in, most of that is going to be pre-populated, and then it's just saved in your account. So if you just need a record of all the trainings you attended or are registered for, it's right in there. So that is sort of what I have. Wondering if any of you have questions. I know that was a little bit of a whirlwind of a presentation. There's a lot of information. Whoops, and show, there we go. If anyone has questions, please feel free to ask them now or email us, give us a call, anything like that. We are happy to answer now, or we'll also send this. So if you feel like rewatching the presentation for any reason, you are welcome to do that.
I just want to say that that's an amazing, I had no idea the range of benefits that you have and everything that you're involved in. So as a newcomer, to have it introduced in this way is absolutely invaluable. So
Thank you.
I don't have a question, but it's been so helpful, really.
Great. I really appreciate that, Susan. And that's, what we hope for. We know that even members who have been members for years, like, we add new benefits, and it's easy to miss an email, or you just don't realize, oh, I could get a discount on that through Mna. And so our hope was that between webinars like this, and then we'll be sending out some more specific just member benefit emails. We're hoping to do like a quarterly reminder, like, hey, did you know, just as a way to remind folks that, yep, we're here to serve you and make sure you are resourced and have access to things that will make your job easier. So I'm glad that this was helpful. And yeah, again, if you ever, if you think of a question a week from now, or you want more information about any of these benefits that we sort of flew through, please feel free to just give me a call or shoot me an email and we can walk you through them. And if that's it, I will give you 6 minutes of your afternoon back. I'm happy I didn't go over on time. But thank you for being here, and I'll send this in an email later this afternoon to you. Thanks, Shelby and Barb.
Thanks, Tylen. Thank you, guys.
Thanks very much.
See ya.
Bye.